So now going back here to the story of Moses, he sees the Egyptian and he slew Nakah, the Egyptian. What's this word? And why does it matter? So this word is used 501 times in the Old Testament. It is used everywhere. It's translated normally to, so the meaning is like to smite, to kill, to slay, attack, destroy, conquer, ravage, chastise, punish, wound. The King James, the English versions have many different words that's used. This is the problem with the English language. The English language is a definition-based language. It's very exhaustive. We've got variations of words. We've become artsmiths of words where you can easily define how angry a person is. We throw a couple adjectives in there and we can precisely say exactly what we want. The Hebrew is not that way. It's a poor language. There's not as many words. So this word gets translated a whole bunch of ways into English. So translations are attack, beat down, cast down, beaten, conquered, drove, kill, overthrown, ruined, slapped, slaughter, slew, smite, smote, strike, struck, take, thrust, wounded. So when you're studying this, you're like, okay, what in the world is going on here? And we overlook the words. So like I'm saying, this is the next layer down that we want to get to. So let's start with the first story in the text where this word shows up. It's a story of two brothers. Story of two brothers. One's a farmer, one's a shepherd. Thank you. And they're just living in a world that's new. Their parents just got kicked out of their home. And I don't know about you, but sitting around the dinner table discussing this action of God and was it valid or not is probably happening. If God shows up and kicks you out of your home, you may have a discussion and say, God, was that the right thing to do? Come on now. I mean, how would you feel? Kicked out of the very thing where God put you in that. And this idea of justice, injustice, who's in control, what's happening. And now is the time to do the sacrifice. We know the story of Cain and Abel. Cain brings, as a farmer, the best of his produce, or at least the produce, it doesn't say best, but of his garden. Abel brings the best of his sheep. God accepts one, doesn't the other. And now Cain is dealing with this question again of, well, what? Come on now. Do you realize how hard it is to have a garden? You all that have gardens. Is it easier to walk around with sheep or to garden? And you're sitting there toiling away, and you look over and your brother's out under a tree sleeping, and the sheep are just out there chewing the cud. Every day, all day long. And you're toiling in the soil. This is hard work. And now the sacrifice is there, and you have labored intently, brought it to God, and God says, I like your brothers better. What is going through your mind? Justice. Is this just or not? So Cain becomes very angry, and his face is downcast. Now, this is what I love about God. Justice with God is not without mercy. His mercy and grace will be exhausted before justice happens. So Cain is sitting there going, God, what are you doing here? And God shows up and says, Cain, why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, won't you be accepted? But if you don't do it right, sin is now crouching at your door. Watch out, Cain. Now, notice the next verse. Now, Cain said to his brother Abel, let's go out in the field. And while they're in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Now, we see this idea of the word killed again. Slew. Question comes up, is this the same word? It's not. It's a simple murder. No, it's not simple, but it's the generic word that's used for he murdered him. It's not the depth yet we see with this. But then it goes on. Now the Lord said, what have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out for me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. It's not going to yield its crops anymore. Now tell a farmer that. By the way, you plant, it's not going to come up. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is more than I can bear. Today you're driving me from the land. Remember, you drove my parents out of the garden. You didn't accept my sacrifice. Now you're driving me out of the land, and now what I plant's not going to grow? You want to talk about injustice? Come on now. What are you doing? And I'm going to be a restless wanderer on the earth. Whoever finds me is going to kill me. And he uses the same word. I killed Abel. Someone's going to find me. They're going to kill me too. Now listen to what God's reply is. But the Lord said to him, not so. Anyone who kills Cain, Nakah, the word that we're trying to find, the slew, anyone who kills Cain, slew Cain, will suffer vengeance 7 times over, perfect vengeance, as much vengeance as possible. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him would Nakah Cain. Wait a minute here. So this word slew, Nakah, from the very first shows that God is the one that controls justice, vengeance. Men, humankind, you are not allowed to Nakah, slew, or kill injustice this with people. So this becomes the very first usage of this word in the text. In Genesis chapter 4, it's interesting because it picks up with Adam and Eve and said they had another child, Seth, because Cain, Nakah, slew Abel. So from the beginning, we see in the text, God is in control of justice. He is the one that smites or slew. That word is always directed to God. And the first instance is someone killed the shepherd. First murder. Romans 12 says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourself, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, say the Lord. Vengeance is God's, not man.